Okay, happy Friday, everyone. You guys should all be able to hear, see me all good. So let's go like that. Let's get that up like that. You guys, yeah, cool. So again, I think it's been a pretty good trading week. My side, I managed those longs on stream with the edgeful team yesterday, so that was obviously nice. I had the YM longs, and then I had the ES longs. If you go rewatch that stream, you should be able to check that out. But again, very choppy market conditions, I must say. We weren't really getting much follow through yesterday on any of the moves until late in the session yesterday, where we did pop up towards the highs. But this is a 15-minute time frame actually on ES. Look how we just back and forth. We do hold the opening range low. We flush down at the open, and we just hold the opening range low the whole time. And it was very interesting. So yeah, no head Friday. Yeah, got a clean cut, so got to show off the my new hairstyle. But yeah, in terms of the data coming today, yesterday again, just more patient, waiting for that screener to set up, and then I found those two longs, so I can actually go over my trades. Let's go like this. Let's go year to date, and then let's go start my trading day. Okay, we'll get the template in like that. So we'll start out our pre-market prep. But then yesterday, I just want to go over my trades from yesterday, just so you guys have a look. And you can go rewatch the stream. I took both of these trades on the edgeful stream. I'm going to be live with Andre later on as well. But yeah, the first one, YM longs. And then I did yank it as well, putting off that daily view app. So it was a little bit of a tough one. I did like the longs. However, we were bouncing off of that daily view app quite often. And then ES I took with zinc. As I said, this is kind of like my typical trade. A break of the opening range high, a pullback. We hold the lows and we move higher. What I really liked about the longs, and I did mention this in my pre-market prep yesterday, that I like the longs as well, kind of like that false breakout trade. But what I really did like about this is they flush it down. We get flush at the open, and immediately we bounce very aggressively. And that is very typical of that false breakout trade that I love to look for, especially on the indexes. So even if you look at NQ yesterday, look how they flush it down at the open, like literally right off the open, they flush 100 points down to 329, and we never revisit that level, not once. We bounce hard and then back up into 515. And that made me really, really like the longs. We literally, I mean, it was pretty crazy how it bounced so aggressively as well. If you go back down to like the 1 minute chart as well yesterday, literally gets flushed down 100 points at the open and then right back up. And that's what really made me like those longs. This like 400 level was paying for the longs yesterday, and then late in the session, we rally quite aggressively, like literally 200 points and close on the highs. So I would not be surprised to see a potential follow through today of those longs. We do need to hold, however, these pre-market levels of 400 that I've been mentioning. So something like this would entice me. We would get above London highs and then back into previous days highs like that, back into maybe the 25K level, even that SARC level. From a high time frame perspective, we are sitting at that daily 200 EMA, which we can see at the moment has been a very strong level of support. Okay, it's that white EMA coming across my screen. That is that daily 200 EMA as well. That's for NQ. And yes, we are sitting right at it as well, as you can see. So the DAX is trading higher here into the open as well. We gapped up on it. So it is going to be a very, very interesting trading session. As I said, I'm going to be live with Andre, but I think, again, some of the reports that I am going to be using is, again, that opening candle continuation report. It's very, very simple. My plan every single day is to look at levels, wait for the opening range and view app to open from the market open to set up, and then use the edgeful screen and see what stocks are doing. That's my same game plan every single day. So if we go to some of these reports, okay, we can actually see what's up, Raz, Steve. So if we go to this opening candle continuation report, a very nice report, that very simple as well. But even if you look at it on Tesla, in the last 6 months, if that first hour is bullish, 82% of the time will close as a bullish closing day, and vice versa for the shorts, 80.3%. We can even go to the last month. Let's see how this is performing on Tesla in the last month, 77 and 90%. So waiting sometimes and not getting enticed too early does pay off for sure. And I think that the more you understand this as a trader, the more you're going to get better at identifying your best setups. Because not every single day is about rushing into trades. Sometimes it's also about just taking it one good trade at a time, being patient and spotting your entries and seeing what actually the market wants to do. And I think a lot of traders get closed-minded and trade on those lower time frames, like the 1 minute that entices you. That's why I like the 5 and 15 minute time frame from an intraday perspective personally. But again, you got to find what works for you. That personally works for me. But yeah, okay. So ES as well, levels on ES. Let's draw up some levels here on ES too. So if we can hold the 620 level on ES, 600 level, I definitely think we could see a bounce back up at least into this 730, 750 level. We would have to clear these highs back at 680 as well, but that's my game plan right now. And I think it's pretty simple with regards to that. But yeah, any questions so far on the chat right now? And how's your guys' week been? Keep me updated. Yeah, any questions right now? If we flush these lows, obviously, we'll have to reevaluate. I'm going to be live with Andres. You'll be able to see me my thoughts in real time as well. Any questions in the chat right now? Your whiteout lines on that chart, what exactly? Those are previous days highs and lows from the extended market hours. So including pre and post market hours, they the previous days highs, as you can see. Okay, and those are the levels that I look for every single day. Previous days highs and lows, pre-market highs and lows. So you can see previous days highs was up here in Asia. That's where it's marked out. And then previous days lows was down here at the open, and that's where we've marked it out as well. So we have actually bounced off of the previous days lows at the minute. Yeah, 100%. You can get those indicators as well with edgeful, bottom left-hand side of there, trading view indicator access. Okay, so yeah, let's just see what the DAX is doing as well. Any news on the cards? Let's make sure. I don't believe there was any news on the cards today. Yeah, Friday. No news, high impact news on the cards right now at the minute. I agree with you on patience. Every time I enter early, I always lose. Yeah, it's a tough one because we want to get involved in the markets, but sometimes just waiting for a little bit more confirmation and seeing because every single day is going to be different in the markets. It's not going to be one day that's going to be the same back to back, very rarely. So if we can just be more patient, I think it does allow for sometimes easier trades. Let's have a look. Bitcoin's trading up on the day, up at 7,500. Gold's up again 1% after that massive drop down in the last 2 days. And then let's just have a look. Currencies, yeah, GJ moving higher, GU as well. But again, no real news on the things. Do you use weekly and session VWAPs? Yeah, I use the New York Open set. I use 2 VWAPs from an intraday perspective. Daily, which is the overnight, which is that black one on my screen over here. And then I use the New York session open VWAP. And then from a high time frame perspective, I use the weekly VWAP, which is that blue dotted line. So we are trading obviously underneath it, but we are sitting, at least on ES, we are sitting at weekly lows. So where we have bounced off of and on Monday and then again yesterday. So it is going to be an interesting one. As I said, I do potentially like the longs in continuation from yesterday's bounce and closing on the highs. What's up, Luigi? Good to have you guys on. Yes, sir. Yeah, good to check everyone on your pre-market. Again, I think these pre-market streams give you great insight. Again, most of my trades, I'd say 90% of my trades I'm taking on stream. So if you want to go back and rewatch my live streams from this week, go and do that, particularly the open streams. I don't really trade much after 12 o'clock, I would say. If I do, I'm playing on accounts that, don't want to say this, but don't really matter. Because I like to be like 1 and done or 2 and done for the day, between 1 and 3 trades on the day, and then I'm kind of blocking myself out. Are there separate indicators for each VWAP? So I'm starting to use session and daily. Yeah, there are separate indicators. So the indicator that I got for for the daily is called VWAP Auto Anchored. It's made by TradingView itself. So if you go like this, VWAP Auto Anchored, that's it there. And that's the daily VWAP. It anchors to the daily. And I've taken off the Bollinger Bands. As you can see, I just got the VWAP on. And then the New York session VWAP is that ASX free automatic VWAPs and key levels. I just use it for the start of New York session open. So once New York opens, that will start printing. Obviously, it won't be printing now, right? Let's go like that. Let's see. So any questions in the chat right now? Hope everything's good. Do you typically use a London Open View app? I mainly trade on the 1 minute, like also and even obviously trade New York's. Yeah. So if I won't use London session View app because I'm not really trading London, but I am using, as I said, I am using the New York session View app because I'm trading New York session. If you're trading London, then using London session View app would make sense. But I personally don't use the London session because I'm not trading London during the London time, right? So I just, yeah, for me, I don't. But if you are trading like the DAX in London session, that would make a lot of sense. Thank you. These edgeful streams and adding edgeful to my trading has helped. You simplify my trading back-to-back weeks so far, probably just using proven date. Yeah, again. What's up, Raya? Yes, sir. Between daily VWAP and New York session, which one use for entries? I use the New York session the most for my entries, I would say, because I'm trading during the New York session. But I like to use the daily VWAP for like pre and post market hours, and for like including the extended market hours, kind of bias. So I like yesterday we were trading between both, so that made me a little bit wary, and that's why I pulled that YM trade pretty early. Okay, so that's why I pulled my YM trade yesterday pretty early, because we're trading with the New York session VWAP, but against the daily VWAP, which is that black one. And that made me be a little bit more, I did like the longs. I actually loved the longs, but it made me a little bit more cautious on trying to be so aggressive to come and take highs, like Asia highs, because of that, right? So we can look at the NASDAQ as well. As I said, we are climbing here at the moment too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us start to get bullish here into the open, especially because we've actually bounced off of those lows here pre-market to that low of day from yesterday, right? Yeah, 100%. I hope these streams help you. I'll be live with Andre at the open, which is going to be in the next hour. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Is open 3:30? Yeah, opens 3:30 South African time. Always 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You got to do your time zone difference and see what time that is for you. But open will always change. It's always 9:30 Eastern time, but they did just do a daylight saving. So it used to be 4:30 South African time. It's now moved to 3:30 because they 6 hours behind and not 8 hours behind, 7 hours behind. So it's changed now to 3:30 p.m. South African time. Yes, sir. So again, as I said, ES bouncing off the lows. Look at that. ES also bouncing directly off of those previous days' lows, and that gets me interested in these longs in continuation. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Anything, guys. Ask me anything. I'm always here. But as I said, so from a higher time frame now perspective, we are hitting off of those lows at the minute. If we can definitely clear like something like on ES above this daily VWAP and then come back down and move like that, that would be very, very bullish for me personally. I would love those longs in continuation. So that's my game plan for the day, but we'll see what happens into the open. We don't have any high impact news events, so that's not really going to be happening at the moment. And yeah, we can get going into the trading day in a bit. I'll see you guys on stream. But any other questions in the chat? So focus for the day, end the week strong. Right, end the week strong. Currently in an NQ short, feeling like I'm about to get tittied. Let's have a look at NQ short. Yeah, I don't particularly like it right now. I don't trade too much pre-market, I must say, Peter. I would say you're probably better off waiting for market open when there's more volume, unless you are playing for quick scalps pre-market. But rather waiting for the market open to look for trades personally would be, I think, a little bit better. Again, it comes down to that patience. How do you buy live charts on TradingView? You just hit the button. It will be at the top there. It'll say delayed, and then you hit there and you subscribe to the CME data. So for you, like I got NQ, I purchased the data. Let's just go to one where it would be delayed. So you would hit, let's go like this. You'd hit the top over there where it says delayed, and then you would go and learn more, and then you would purchase the data for NQ and ES. Yeah, or you can use the CFD chart as well. You don't really have to use NQ and ES. You can use the US 100 like so. You can use US 100 for the NASDAQ, where it's the CFD charting. So you don't particularly have to use the CME data. I must say you can use your own the CFD data from the other brokers as well. You don't have to use NQ and ES. I just do because everyone talks in terms of those numbers, so it's just a little bit easier for me. It's a bear flag right now. Yeah, I don't really look at the patterns, to be honest. I just look at levels in the high time frame and the edgeful data with opening range and VWAP. So I try and keep it as simple as possible. Send me a markup. I'd love to see what you're seeing with regards to that bear flag, though. What time frame? I don't know the same. Yeah, US 100 is the NASDAQ. It's the same thing. If you look at the chart, there's the NQ chart, and there's the US 100 chart. It's the same thing. It's just going to be different pricing because one's with a CFD brokerage firm and the other would be directly from the CME. 24,464, and US 100 is currently trading at 24,250. So they're 200 points off, but it's the same thing. Cool. On NQ on the 5 minute, let's have a look. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, you can see it's kind of making the channel higher. At the moment, I wouldn't be surprised to see us get a little bit of a leg higher before we go into the open. We've been making higher lows all morning right now off of those lows. And then we'll see what happens into the open. Perfect, guys. We'll leave you all there. I'll be live with Andre, as I said, to end of the week now. Let's have a good Friday. Keep it simple. Don't over trade. Don't over risk. And we'll see you guys all on stream in the next 45 minutes. I'll put an alert on the edgeful Discord as well. Have a good one. We'll see you guys all there. Send Friday strong. Yes, sir.